Oh,
All right, everybody. Good afternoon to everybody.
top to bottom at you.
Appreciate everybody coming by. Just a quick situation here that we wanted to talk about. We have found that some situations came about over the internet, and we're going to have a brief, not brief, but we're going to have a discussion about it. And before we actually have a discussion about it, we like to present the fair use concept. Just stand by while this plays.
So I'm not sure if anyone has looked into the description. We briefly put in the description what posed us to bring this topic about. And you may or may not have heard about a product review that's gone viral. I've mostly seen it on TikTok about a poor woman who's had some issues or some reactions while using a soap, which I understand these things happen. So I pray that she gets the healing that she needs and then her skin returns back to normal. She had some chemical burns. But what I did notice is that it caused some misguided blame from some other companies to blame the cause was because the product was produced handmade without really having the full information. And so that caused a concern for me because I listened and I watched some of the comments, and some things were, they were based, and some things, a lot of it was off base. So you have to really be careful when you're listening to someone rant because they have an agenda of their own. I'm going to play a little piece.
Before you play that piece,
Okay.
all right. One of the other things I like to mention is that based on what we've heard, we've watched this viral uh, note message
Review.
review
Mhm.
about the products, and one of the biggest things is that I've seen over many years of besides businesses and me teaching people of business, and of course understanding what business lifestyle is all about. One of the biggest
Shalom and
flaws.
blessings, August. Thanks for popping in.
August, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. It's a great pleasure to see you. Hopefully, everything is well on your end, and family and friends are all okay. Um, One of the things, as I was mentioning, that I see a lot what happens with customers. Okay, for many years, many customers have been told the customer is always right, and where the slippery slope comes in is where, as the customer is right, the customer has to understand where their right comes into play. So one of the biggest flaws is that what have found, okay, I'm not able to speak for everyone, but as myself working with many businesses, working with the SBA, working with SCORE, we have found that the majority of people, doesn't matter race, creed, colors, sex orientation, or anything like that, fail to follow the suggested directions, meaning they don't read. And when the person doesn't read, they tend to make a mistake and they automatically want to put blame on the either the product or the company or another person. They fail to take accountability for themselves. And what we've heard with this viral situation with the young lady, and I do keep my fingers crossed that she's okay as well, and that everything works out. We really do have to dig deep into understanding what transpired. Did she follow the directions? Did she speak with the actual the company
The
that
seller.
the seller?
Mm-hmm.
Did she get a some type of one-on-one consultation? Did she follow the directions? There's so many other things that have transpired that we may or may not know of. We could only go off of what we have experience with ourselves. I, for example, with companies, dealing with customers on both ends. And of course, with our company, we have to be very careful as well. That's why we suggest to our customers to Barakatab Naim. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, Barakatah.
We strive on trying to have people understand that if you don't follow the suggested procedures or instructions, these things do tend to happen. One of the glorious things that we have amongst ourselves is that we require, or we ask rather, our friends, family, and customers that purchase from us to talk with us first to get a clear understanding of what we're creating for them. So I believe we're going to play a small clip from the viral.
Yeah, this was a clip from one of the companies that I personally feel that may have an agenda, because this is what I was referring to, the misguided blame.
Shalom.
Shalom. She said shalom, family. It's like saying shalom.
Oracle. Shalom.
All right. Okay, let me see if I can get this playing. I'm gonna play it from my phone. This was a response, or a, what do you call it?
I would say more
when they split. When they
Well, the person. Okay, let's make some clarity here. There is a person who did a split frame on the young lady's
product review,
and I'll talk a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, let me just play
Go
it.
ahead.
About kojic acid alone, we have got to start talking more about handmade formulations that are unstable, that people are whipping up, packing up, calling it skincare, and then shipping it to you guys, promising fast results when it's just a quick sale for them. We have kojic acid, and
okay, yeah. So she started to push her product at that point.
So if it's a little frustrating from a business standpoint, okay? Specifically for myself, let me just give you guys a little more understanding. As I was mentioning before, with the background that I have in business is well over 10 years in business, okay? And one of the biggest things is when a business uses someone's peril, someone's bad situation in life to promote themselves, or even to talk about it without having the facts, that is incorrectly done. Okay. And that is something that it doesn't matter who it is, what big box company, what company it is, what person. You do not put blame on someone else, because what you're doing now is you're trying to make believe that you're better than everybody else. So that's the first thing that in business you don't do. That's why it comes back to competition. Okay.
And I got triggered. As soon as she said handmade, I'm not gonna lie, I got triggered, y'all. I was like, don't come for me, because my stuff is stable.
Right. And one of the biggest things, okay, what in that little rant that we heard, the little excerpt that we heard, the expert speaking in the nature of what is right, what is wrong, handcrafted, they just packing it up, sending it out. Unfortunately, we have to understand that that's the process. You create a product, you package it, and you send it out. The actual problem comes from the actual customer that has chosen to utilize that product.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate on that.
Go ahead.
Okay, because it could be a combination of both. The person creating the product, yes, they have the responsibility of making sure they are creating a stable product. And the customer has the responsibility of also doing their research and following the instructions. It's like what Oracle just said. We don't know if she really followed the instructions. And I'm looking at the burns on that woman's face. And if I'm not mistaken, she tried to say she only used it twice. You don't get that kind of burn from using something twice.
No,
it's not unless possible. The person creating that product has so much acid in there that it was just unable to use. Like it would have been like extremely high. You know, my daughter, who's an esthetician, has told me stories about situations like that. So I have an idea of what that's like. And I use acids and alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids on myself as well. So I know how to balance it out. And that's why in my soap video, I mentioned that I should do a video to show how to properly layer the products to get safe results, because you have to be careful. Even with something like lemon juice, you got to be careful. So it's not just that attack saying it's just homemade because it's homemade. No, no. There's a lot of variables with
Absolutely, a
that.
lot of variables. Namia, how do we pronounce her name again? Namia, Namia.
Namaria.
Namaria. Yes, she's
I hope I'm
absolutely right.
saying it
It's
right.
called a test. Absolutely. And one of the things
Yeah, you
about
do a
us,
patch test.
we
Yes.
do we advise everybody to do a patch test. Patch test really actually helps out what is actually going to happen with the person. Because again, we do not people do not read directions. Absolutely, I agree with you, and that's the flaw. Okay, as my wife says, she's
Exactly, Oracle.
it's a problem where you don't say it's the product. We have to understand something. The product is not the cause of the problem. The problem actually consists of the human causing the interaction the wrong way.
Yes, baking soda too. Yes.
Baking soda.
I was looking at her comments.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And unfortunately, we have seen, or actually, I've done some research. Okay, because of course I believe in research. I believe in not just talking out my breath or talking out my mouth without finding any research. I've done extensive research. I've asked some of my other associates that have businesses as well, not in the cosmetic field, but just in general, to give me their point of view about things. And we're all coming up with the same.
Pronounced like mama.
Oh, mama. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I said it Namaria, right?
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it.
Like
I chop up
like Mamma Mia.
I appreciate that. Thank you very so much for that clarification. So as we're talking about this, we don't have anything concrete as far as how we're going to present it. So we're just going to.
We're just winging it.
I'm going to show some articles that I have come across at the very end. With every article that we talk about, I have found a reputable reference of where it was found. So this way, if anyone turns around and says, "Oh, well, that's not true." Well, go back to the original source of where it was found and discuss that or debut it with the actual person that has put it up.
Before you put it up,
I'm gonna wait. Go ahead.
Before he puts that up, I want to mention that in that rebuttal or that rant from that, she said she was an esthetician selling her own products, coming against the handmade makers. She said she had a team of scientists and she had a team of this and a team of that, which a team of scientists, which she may or may not have. That's why I thought it was a marketing ploy. And it doesn't mean that it's done correctly. And that's why I wanted to say that first, because he's going to show reputable companies who have scientists, teams, and yet they are still having these issues. They're still trying to cut corners. The customer still has to do their responsibility, their due diligence, and following instructions.
Yes.
And like what Oracle stated before, leaving the product walking around and not washing it off. Yes. Kojic acid is not supposed to be on your face for more than 30 seconds. So you have to take that stuff off. And then if you're layering it up with other actives, you have to be careful. That's the reason why I created the passion fruit gentle wash, because if you're already laying acids on, you don't want your wash to have an acid, your serum to have an acid, and your moisturizer. You want to kind of balance it out. Absolutely. Some you can do in the daytime before you go out in the sun because you'll need your sunscreen, and then some it's best to do it at night. You got to be careful when you're mixing it with vitamin C. So you just have to be real careful.
So let's talk about something that's very, very, how we say, simplistic. Okay. I know for a fact when I was growing up, I was always told never mix chemicals, right? Wasn't that something that was told to many of us? Never mix chemicals. Clorox and bleach, you never actually mix. Ammonia, Clorox, anything that doesn't supposed to go together.
Pass out,
right?
Yeah.
You pass out. You put these things together. I was told that when I was a kid. And yet, even as a kid, I still turned around, I did it, and I found out what actually happens when you mix the wrong thing.
Yeah, you got Will.
So off the top of your head, if you just know about acid, I mean, really, acid. Anybody in any burn understands the concept of acid. Acid is a burning type of what would you say, liquid,
chemical.
chemical.
It's a chemical.
Okay,
Everything's a chemical.
It's a burning chemical. If you already know you took acid and you put it on your face and you stepped outside and it's 85 degrees outside, what do you actually think is happening?
Right, because it's turning over your cellular level so that you can have your new skin. So that's why they tell you don't, you put on some protection while you're going through the healing process.
And this is why people really need to start understanding you don't only attack a company, you must, as a company, you must ask the consumer,
so true.
How well did you actually think
Maria.
and speak to the actual seller or the company that you bought the product from?
Maria.
Process will unclog your
Welcome, Yaquaba.
Yes,
and Oracle says, how much does research and development eat into your profits if you were to have a team like the one she's talking about? Exactly.
You know what?
We did a little digging, and I think a lot of the stuff she said was disingenuous, and it's just one of them situations where someone was talking loud and strong and wrong. Definitely wrong. And I think since the pandemic, a lot of entrepreneurs been doing their thing. A lot of people have gotten creative. They've developed their skill and their gift, and they learn how to make money without the big companies. And then you got these other people. I think they just are jealous, because is jumping into their coins. Yeah. So they say, well, we're not going to go over these big. We're not going to mess with L'Oreal, but we're going to mess with this little handmade companies, because they doing their thing and they're actually creating stuff that's natural. And yeah, there's a lot of hateration going on with that. And I'm not saying that there aren't any bad apples. There are bad apples out there, and that's why it's also the customer's job to do their due diligence, and the handmade crafter has to do their diligence in informing. Correct. And that also taught me how from here on now I'm going to present my instructions and information so that everyone can have what the heck? All right. They even tell you that when you're cleaning the bathroom, somebody
that was me.
That was him.
That was me. That was me at the age of 12. Yes, Oracle. I am living proof of that same statement. I am living proof. I did it when I was 12 years old.
I saw a short on that too.
Passed out on the floor for 4 hours. I was passed out. All right, everybody. Again, we appreciate you coming in. Please understand, this is something that we really feel adamant about. As a business person, I don't like the fact that we have this young lady. And for those that actually watch the video, I feel that you understand my plight now when I say, why is it that certain races and certain type of people feel the need to attack each other?
Yeah, because you don't think that she ain't come for L'Oreal. Now, anyway, go ahead.
Okay, let's put this clip up. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I want to share some stuff with everybody. Okay. So if anybody or some of us have heard of a company called Huda Beauty, okay, this is an article that I found, of course, and as you can see, it says that Huda Beauty was in the spotlight last year, not going to mention the year, after it agreed to a $2.8 million settlement with its customers to resolve its eyeshadow contained ingredients that were unsafe to be near the eyes. So now we're talking once again about a large company who has multiple amounts of scientists, verifiers, researchers, and of course, from one that actually has been a test subject for some companies, they have product testers. Okay. So as we keep reading, we see the product in question was Huda's Neon Obsession Palette, which consumers allege was marketed as an eyeshadow despite it not being intended for the eye area. So now you see that they actually produced a product that is around the eye, very close to the eye, and they totally disregarded the concept of how much damage can be brought to the eye. Consumers claimed in a class action suit that it caused them to suffer injuries such as eye irritations, rashes, discolorations, skin inflammation, and pain. Also, as you see, it says further customers argued that Huda only warned them the product was not meant to be near the eyes with a, can you continue reading that because I have a blockage on my side?
6-word disclaimer on the back of its packaging. Consumers are still waiting on the final Huda settlement hearing.
again, everybody, understand this is not to put any blame on anybody. This is just to bring awareness to how people feel the need to benefit from someone else's demise, as I would call it, someone else's pain and suffering to benefit their upcoming.
Just do some other interesting companies.
Let me give you a couple other ones. Okay. Anyone who has ever heard of Grande Cosmetics? Now, here's another article that I found. Grande Cosmetics, meanwhile, was accused earlier this year of selling hair growth serums that can cause eye damage.
Now, what the hell?
What in God's name was actually inside that product that it goes from the top of your head, drips down into your eye, and mess up your eye? What does that tell you? They didn't do the research correctly. And of course, as we continue reading, consumers claim that the serum, which was marked for growing eyebrows, eyelashes, and hair, contains, I'm going to chop this up, I'm not very good at pronouncing it, isopropyl what? Come on now.
Chlorprostinate.
It's ICP. I apologize. I'm not good with words, which they argue. That's why I'm not the formulator.
So the eyeshadow was not supposed to be on the eye, and they have a team of research and development. Well, okay, that's exactly. This is what I'm saying. So to say you got a team or something, what that mean? You got to. We know when they was pushing that medication, what they say.
Right.
Believe the data.
Believe the data.
Follow the science.
Follow the science.
And
Just
they
because
were
I'm
all
wearing
proven,
a white coat don't mean I know what
and they were all proven wrong. So anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Here's another
Here's
one.
A very popular one.
Very popular company. I'm sure many people heard of Bare Minerals. This makeup contains PFAs, falsely advertised as natural. Popular beauty brand Shiseido was also hit with a class action lawsuit last year over its Bare Minerals makeup line, which consumers alleging it contains harmful chemicals that are man-made. Okay. Consumers argue that despite being advertised as being free of any chemicals, the makeup line actually contains polyfluoroalkyl substances, a PFA.
Polyfluoroalkyl substances.
Oh, I've missed that word. See, I'm not good at this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same stuff that's in most hair dyes.
It's a hair dye chemical. So come on now. These again, large peoples. Okay. Here's the continuation of the PFA. The PFA in Bare Minerals, known as Forever Chemicals.
Oh, it's a makeup line. Another makeup line part of them.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's part of the makeup line. Consumers are given the amount of time to stay in the individual system after they are exposed to them. So here again, many of us in here know that what we consume, it goes into our body and it affects us a different way if we don't know how to actually deal with it. So why are we doing this? So as I continue, just give me a moment.
Yeah, they've been out a minute. Yep.
The issues of the PFA in cosmetic products such as Shiseido came to light after a June study. Here we go. There was a study that was made by the Notre Dame researchers revealed that more than half of the makeup in the U.S. may contain the harmful chemicals. So again, whose responsibility to do the patch test? The consumer. Whose responsibility to follow suggested guidelines? The consumer. Why is it that the consumer is not following what companies and us, of course, are advising them?
And this situation here is the company is not being what's the word? They're not being given information to the customer.
Correct.
Of the risk. You have to list the risk, and you have to list what you're putting into the products. And then they're naming it as something natural, something organic, something this, something that. And when they have ingredients, that is the opposite of that. So it's real tricky, and that's the thing. We're not blaming the customer all the time. But what we're saying is that you have these big companies that are backed by scientists, and they are purposely deceiving the people. Which is the reason why I started making my own stuff, because I was getting reactions to things and I didn't know why. And come to find out, there are a lot of hidden stuff or things that they call inactive.
Right.
Is the stuff that's giving you the eczema, giving you the psoriasis, giving you, the allergies or the hives or whatever have you.
Correct.
And then you don't understand why. Or later on, you have estrogen disruption.
And this is why I try to explain to people, we have to do our due diligence when it comes to utilizing products that we personally have not made because when you don't know what it is, it affects you a different way. Because again, every product that's out in the world is not made for everybody.
I see a question.
You got a question over there? I'm pausing. Go ahead. Answer your question.
Oracle says, do you want to make hair dye? You asking me, do I want to make hair dye? Because right now I just use henna. I use henna with moringa, the powder and stuff to make to get this brown stuff up here. I got a pop up that's blocking. Oh,
You can scroll it.
oh, I see it. That's okay.
You want to scroll it?
No, my sister thing popped up.
Okay.
Popped up on the screen.
All right. This is one that
I wasn't sure she was asking, do I want to make hair dye?
Okay.
But,
I would like to read this one out.
oh, this is a big one.
This is a big one because many people see Neutrogena all over the place. I've seen it. I've heard about it. And as a guy, I'm not even utilizing, but it's quite funny to actually see this.
I think they make other stuff too.
Okay. I believe it, but I haven't used it, so I'm not even sure how it even works. But here's the funny thing. If, in fact, also last year, a class action lawsuit targeted Neutrogena over its health skin firming cream with broad spectrum SPF 15. Now, from what I remember, SPF 15 is supposed to be some type of ingredient that keeps the skin from getting burnt by the sun.
Mm-hmm.
There's in a lot of sunscreen. So how is it possible that consumers are saying that this ingredient that's in there, this benzophenone, is that pronounced correctly?
Benzophenone.
Which is a human carcinogen. What? Tell me what a carcinogen is.
It causes cancer.
It causes cancer.
A carcinogen.
A carcinogen. It causes cancer. So why is it that a multi-billion-dollar company,
because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to get the chemicals because they let a cosmetic scientist tell them, as long as you put a little bit of this, it won't cause an issue. But what people fail to realize, if you have a little bit of this, like my issue with formaldehyde, if you have a little bit of this in your skin cream, you have a little bit of this in your lotion, you have a little bit of this in your makeup, you have a little bit of this in your toothpaste,
mm-hmm.
That little bit adds up to a whole lot. It adds up.
Yeah. I mean, it's real simple. We look at it simple mathematics, okay? And this is the way it comes to the funny. If we all took 1 penny and put it in a jar for 1 month, you'll be surprised at how much money you have inside that jar in 1 month. So if you look at it the same way, you take, as the missus says, all these different ingredients, you take a little bit, but you're putting it inside one body. So how is it that you believe that all these chemicals being introduced to your body are not going to have an adverse effect on your body?
So I'm looking at the article.
It's self-explanatory.
It also says that chemical act as an endocrine disruptor.
Absolutely, endocrine disruptor.
Yeah, it changes your hormones up and down, and yeah.
Then you're trying to figure out why certain times of the day you're more angry than anything, road rage and all this other nonsense. Who knows? Who knows? All right, I'm gonna try to keep this serious. I apologize. I'm just a jokester. I apologize. Okay, this is another topic that I found. Another one that I found that was based on Clinique.
I can't see it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Clinique was unsuccessful in getting out the claims that its oil-free skincare product actually contained oil, with a judge only dismissing claims related to products that lead plaintiffs, that means the very first people who complained about it, didn't purchase. Of course, now, despite being marketed as oil-free, consumers claim that at least 8 products, 8 of them, state that they're oil-free, but actually contain oils such as
dimethicone, dimethicone, which is a silicone, tocopherol acetate, which is vitamin E, and that oil is vitamin E oil. It has a thickness to it.
Thank you, August. I try.
And isoterol, I can't see the rest of that word. Don't remember what that was because I don't use it.
Here it is. Here it is in its entirety. There it is. My bad.
Okay. Neopentanoate, among others. Consumers claim the products cause a number of unexpected side effects, including breakout. Yeah, because it's clogging the pores. which silicones tend to do. Oily skin and eye irritation when mixed with sweat.
And I'm sure when we look at that concept of the eye being irritated, I'm sure that there are people that are passing their fingers underneath their eyes as a such, underneath the eyeball. I'm not sure what this area is called here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where a lot of people go like
It's
this
another
underneath
thin
the
layer.
eye. They put some cream there this way to get away with the little wrinkles or the what they call the chicken feet on the side of the eye.
Crow's feet.
Crow's feet. So that would lead why a lot of people have had the eye irritations. Okay,
Ooh,
and
the
that's,
sun is coming in.
it's just something that tends to happen when people don't realize what they're doing and how dangerous it can actually be. This was another one that I came across by Maybelline. This one you see it was done in December of 2020.
Yeah.
They falsely advertised some of its makeup products as being oil-free.
It's another one. Mm-hmm.
Come on, really? You have another multi-billion-dollar company.
So you falsely advertising when you know you have scientists. Like, what's the point?
Chicken feet.
You're laughing at your chicken feet.
I apologize. It's my nature.
One of them birds.
One of them birds that look like it. I you know, what can I tell you? And here's what bothers me. Okay, if we just take just for right now, as we had just seen just now, just pulled up a few of them, and I have many more. We just pulled up a few of them, and they're all multi-billion companies. So how is it possible that if we look back to this video that went viral about the young lady who had this very, very bad burn, and another person shared their video and spoke about it, but did not mention the large companies? Why did that individual feel the need to attack the unknown actual handcrafters and
he was
unknown people who are actually trying to become entrepreneurs?
Because she was this.
And it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible
And she know the company was this.
To actually see that she actually went and she did that. Terrible. Here's one that I thought would be amazingly to see. I've seen this company pop up in many, many locations throughout many, many states. Ulta. Here is the one of them birds. Yeah, one of them birds. Yeah, one of them birds. Whether it be a turkey, whether it be a crow, whether it be a chicken. Yeah, we could even get a pigeon in there because I've seen them feet too. Nothing good. So y'all gonna get me into making jokes here. I'm trying to be serious.
Yeah, be serious. Go back.
I'm trying to be serious here. I'm trying to be, but I love the family. The family keeps me going. Here's something that goes back to 2018 against Ulta. There's a class action lawsuit that repackaged.
That's nasty.
Explain to me, how is it possible that a multi-billion-dollar company that's continuing to reopen locations was under the radar by repackaging used old product and presenting it as new? How is that possible? Somebody explain that to me.
Going back to 2018, a class action lawsuit alleged Ulta Beauty repackaged and sold makeup products to consumers who believed they were buying them brand new. Consumers in the complaint claim Ulta employees, at the direction of management, repackaged returned items and put them back on the shelves. The complaint came after an Ulta employee went on Twitter to reveal the practice, including that the products were not sanitized before being placed back for sale, according to this class action lawsuit.
So here's the funny thing, everybody. Here's the funny thing. As I mentioned,
yeah, I heard about that.
I've had the privilege to work with many, many companies, and I've had the privilege to see how things are done. I can honestly tell you firsthand experience, I've seen specific companies utilize things that are old and try to pass them off as new. I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm not able to mention the companies, but I've seen it. Okay. And to hear and see that this happened, I don't like the word alleged. When you say alleged, it's because you're guessing. If someone went and showed it on video of them actually doing it, how is that an alleged concept?
Yeah, you know they got it to the job.
It's not an alleged concept anymore because it's on video. Mm-hmm. Now, can it be alleged because the person that's doing it is making believe it's them? That's a possibility.
Well, I guess until the lawsuit is finalized.
Okay, that's a good point. Until the lawsuit is finalized. Again, that's back in 2018. Okay. So here's something else. this is something that I would like for you specifically to read to the folks, because I know that this is a product that was been on social media like wildfire.
It was.
Oh yeah,
I know I had liked it some time ago.
it's wildfire. Go ahead.
This is some way back. In 2009, Mario Badusco was sued because they hid certain ingredients from their customers. Specifically, the brand was not revealing hydrocortisone, which we know is a steroid, and triamcinolone. Was it?
Yeah, at least I'm not the only one that can mispronounce.
I know it when I'm talking, but when I'm reading it, I'm an idiot. Anyway, you see it. These two ingredients are skin thinning steroids, which can be very damaging to the skin. Though the lawsuit was settled in 2013, many still believe that Mario Badusco should be avoided by consumers.
Okay.
So they're hiding stuff. And I remember they used to be marketed as clean.
Right.
And when you would read their labels, it was very to the point. They had little, like you really thought that you was getting something that didn't have a whole bunch of crap in it.
Correct. Now we're talking about a 4-year span. It took them 4 years to figure this out. And of course, the 4 years later was an actual payoff. So here's another article that is even quite more interesting to me.
Oh, let me read this.
Please read this, because I don't think anybody's going to believe me.
Despite being known as a clean beauty brand, Honest Beauty was sued in 2016 by the Organic Consumers Association for having SLS in one of their products.
Hold on a moment. I need to jump in there. Hold
SLS, I was going to give the acronym.
No, hold on now.
Okay.
Hold on now. Just one moment. 30 seconds. People, please explain to me, how is it a company named Honest in their name? Honest. Now I'm trying to explain something to you. How is it that they honest?
You know, words are selective.
Go ahead.
The perception.
The perception is terrible. Go ahead. Tell me what SLS is, please.
Sodium lauryl sulfate. In other words, Dawn, your dish soap.
Dish soap. I'm putting Dawn on my body and then thinking it's okay.
So they say it's a synthetic chemical. And by the way, when I make my shampoos and face washes, I don't use SLS. They're vegan surfactants.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff that's you can use on a baby.
Honest Beauty was using Dawn dish soap in their actual chemical, in their product.
They were also sued for advertising another product as organic, despite it having 11 synthetic substances in it. Honest Beauty continues to advertise clean beauty products and have removed the ingredients called out in the lawsuit.
Okay. People. Okay.
But I had to take all of it.
Listen.
So if no one caught them, they would have kept it going.
But here's the thing, though. There's still the possibility that they continue doing it because it specifically said they only did it for 11 synthetic substances. 11. That means they narrowed it down to just 11.
They said they found 11 synthetic substances.
It's still terrible, but they still continue. So how many other things are they actually skipping the beat here?
They're cutting corners.
They're cutting corners left and right. All right. Here's another one.
This is very current.
This one here, I don't think anybody could turn around and tell me I'm going crazy because I see 2 different years here that says 2021, 2022, and 2020. My bad, 3 years. 2021, 2022, and 2023. And it is done from
Olaplex. This company has been going all through the YouTube streets on how it's so great for the hair and the bonds, fixing the hair bonds and stuff like that.
Hold on now.
I even had used this one time years ago before I did my big chop.
Look who's their sister, or the umbrella company, Sephora. Come on now, Sephora.
Where you see all that?
Sephora. Hold on now. Okay, let me read this, folks. The lawsuit specifically calls out 3 ingredients as problematic. Lilo is a chemical compound used in many perfumes until it was banned due to potentially fertility risk. Fertility risk. Ladies, you were getting poisoned and not able to have children. It's real simple. You want to have children? Don't go to Sephora. It's simple. It says right here. The lawsuit claims that while Sephora removed Lilo from its Olex ingredients in 2021. Olex did not actually remove the ingredients.
It's the Olaplex. That's it. Yeah.
But Sephora,
They were backing
another
them.
multi-billion-dollar company with a slew
they backed them
of chemists, formulators, scientists, product researchers, product testers, and they still allowed it to happen.
What happened?
Look at the years, folks. Look at the years. 2021, 2022, and 2023. Come on now. Come on. I'm showing it to you.
This is interesting. It says the lawsuit states
Come
that
on now.
panthenol and other non-water soluble ingredients. What kind of panthenol were they using? Because there is water soluble panthenol. Panthenol is vitamin B5, which is great for the hair. So I'm a little confused on what the hell they was using.
And this is why it becomes a problem. And I'm trying to explain to y'all. I'm trying to get understanding here. How is it again that we have a young lady that goes on social media to talk about another young lady's demise and pain and suffering, but she don't go after, or they don't go after another very large company and ask them, what in God's creation did you actually put in there? If I am an esthetician, let's say, for example, or a physician, I'm going to ask the company who's providing me some type of material to give to other people. I'm going to ask what it does.
And it's kind of like when you dealing with the medical field, when you see something about a medication and you hear, oh, so-and-so, they say that this is great. You always got to look and see who funded the article and where they get the information from. So for a company to say, I have a team of scientists, it really doesn't matter unless you have your own scientists, unless you're testing it yourself.
Test it yourself.
Or get some type of independent company to test the product. I mean, I've even had some situations where I had a bad response to some shampoo, which made me have to make my own shampoo. And I checked the pH on it, and that pH was so high. I was like wondering why my hair drew up like a bird's nest and just started looking like this. And it was because the pH was too high. So I'm like, they didn't even check it out. They didn't even check to make sure it was pH balanced before putting it in the bottle.
Now, let me
K. Judah.
Let me say this. Brother K. Judah, I appreciate you coming in. Many blessings and love towards you, brother. Let me just put this out there as well. As we're reading these articles or these snippets that I have found, because I want to bring the attention to everybody, because again, like I've always said, what is it? Teach one, each one, teach one. Okay, so here it is. I love trying to teach people something. And again, I would never come on my face if I don't have a fact behind me of what I'm saying. Okay. Now, I'm a person that is not able to ingest large amounts of sodium. I'm looking at this here, at this one little snippet here, and it says the worst acquisition is directed towards the ingredients sodium, benzoate, and ascorbic acid. When I see the word sodium, I'm already thinking about salt. Okay.
Yeah, because salt is used as a thickener in some formulations.
Okay, so if we're looking at the concept like I'm looking at it, salt.
But it has to be a certain amount. Everything has to be done in a certain way. I mean, I don't use sodium to thicken my products, but I've seen people do that.
Okay, well, let's talk about sodium for a quick moment. Everyone, listen to me carefully now. Family, listen to me. Family, please listen to me. This is not no joking matter. This is a real serious matter for me. I recently took salt and Dawn and vinegar and started killing my weeds in my yard.
You sure did.
Okay.
And
I kid you not, it works. So if I'm looking at this snippet here saying that people were actually having hair loss because of this sodium benzoate that's inside there, that's telling me you put a salt ingredient inside your product and you knew that the people were going to lose their follicles in their hair and you still allowed it to be on the market. But yet we have people on social media talking about the low-end people, the entrepreneurs, the ones that are up and coming.
And the thing that it says here, which is interesting, it says that the sodium benzoate and the ascorbic acid, which in the lawsuit claims to form the carcinogen benzene. So it's like you can put certain things together and not know what you're creating. And that's where the study comes in. When you start creating things and you want your product to give a certain result, you have to research the ingredients and how they respond to each other and what they can
Absolutely.
potentially cause. Just like
Absolutely.
it's so funny because
Look,
I always think about when Kay Judah says I'm a chemist. Well, I'm a how do you say honorary chemist? Because I have to study. I have to study before I put them things together.
and as she and people, family.
She
Listen to
said,
me.
"Are you eating popcorn or raisinets in one hand and gooba in the other?"
People, understand something. I have said this on multiple lives that we have presented, and I've spoken to many, many people about this. I'm the test subject of top to bottom. I have very, very sensitive skin. Okay, I'm the test subject. So if it affects me in a certain way, guess who's the first one saying it ain't gonna work for anybody else because it affects me a certain way. So I would actually sit here and say to everybody, products that we make, I vet them. We vet them together.
Yeah, I vet them too.
Okay,
I'm sensitive.
we vet them together. We all heard and we all know. And for those that are joining in or just listening to this or recapping this later on, read the article on my wife. She has HS. We've already talked about HS very, very lightly, very softly. We spoke about it. So we have to vet, which means if
All
those
right,
that
Kay
don't
Judah.
understand.
Thanks for stopping through.
Thank you, Brother Tay Judah. Blessings to you. Be careful
Just
out
want to get
there.
some sleep.
If we vet our product because we're actually making sure that if we don't have anything wrong with us, we are comfortable that someone else will not have a problem either. And even with that, we still turn around and ask everybody, do a patch test. Get in touch with us. Talk to us. Let us know the situation before you actually even try to buy something that you're not sure about, because we want you to be safe as well. So I want to, if you don't mind, I want to present another article here, another snippet that I found.
Okay.
Okay? Come on now. Come on, family.
Oh, this is an interesting one.
Please read this.
The lawsuit against L'Oreal is specifically against two of their moisturizers, the Collagen Moisture Filler Day Night Cream and the fragrance-free Collagen Moisture Filler Daily Moisturizer.
Hold on now. Isn't that supposed to be for the eyes or for the face, near the lips?
It could be. It's a filler that's usually for the eyes, and
Okay. Go on now.
Though the products claim to smooth wrinkles and restore skin's cushion, the complaint claims that the topical collagen is too large to be absorbed by the skin, and the products, therefore, do not do what they advertise. L'Oreal attempted to have the lawsuit dismissed, but the judge ruled that any reasonable consumer would assume that the products do what the marketing claims. And that's another situation where here you have a team of scientists and they don't know the size molecules of the product they're using, which probably means they are sourcing a collagen from a particular animal that has large molecules. Oink oink. So yeah, you gotta be real careful. Got to be real careful.
Real careful.
Like when I made my face cream, I made sure that it was non-comedogenic. When I use ingredients, I go to the EWG to check its rate of toxicity to see if there's any chance, to see where it lines into being considered a clean product or synthetic product or whatever have you, and try to make it as simple as possible. So it was definitely important that the face cream was lightweight and didn't clog pores.
I'd like to address what August Stream was talking about there.
Oh, where?
There was a hack to clean out your toilet bowl, use colas. What in the world was in colas? Here's the funny thing.
Oh, soda?
When I first looked at it, I thought we were talking about an actual chemical. But then I realized you're actually talking about Coca-Cola. Okay? And I remember seeing that many, many years ago. They took Coca-Cola and stuck it inside the toilet. And Pepsi-Cola too. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is that Pepsi-Cola, you put it on the hood of your car, it will eat away your paint. Mm-hmm. Because it's something of all the chemicals put together that tend to tear away the paint. So yes, it's a funny thing. And if you just look up the ingredients are actually going inside your body. The chemical reaction, it's all about a chemical reaction, what actually happens. I couldn't even talk about it, but I know for a fact I've seen it as well. I tried it. It actually does work, and it is quite amazing. So if you have a really bad toilet bowl, We have another question to talk about. Just saying. I try again. Here we go again. Me trying to keep it serious. All
Let me
right.
see. Maria says, "What about the Max makeup that was only for black women?" I don't know if we found anything on that one.
I didn't find anything on that one, but now that you put it out there, I will.
You know we're gonna look.
I'm gonna look for it. I honestly gonna tell you, I'm gonna look for it. Can you please read this one?
I used
everybody?
to like me some MAC makeup when I was using that. Did you put it up?
It's the one there.
A recent class action lawsuit, however, claims that this labeling is false. Consumers found products that were labeled clean at Sephora that actually included synthetic ingredients. This is also considered to be false advertising, as Sephora likely labeled the products as such in order to sell the items to people looking truly for clean products. Sephora is hoping to get the lawsuit dismissed, but time will tell what comes of the company and the clean beauty industry.
Again, another major.
I think that happened with Lush too.
Yeah. Your car cable. Yeah. And I'm sure we're talking about the battery terminal.
You can clean your car cable with coke.
The battery terminal. Yeah. And it's actually. I don't remember what the heck it's the dang on name of it, but it's actually it's not even Coca-Cola. It's actually any kind of soda pop that has the bubbles in it. I keep forgetting what the name is.
Carbonation.
The carbonation. The carbonation is actually the chemical reaction that attacks all kind of rust that's on the battery terminal.
Isn't that some type of sodium bicarbonate as well? Like
yes.
Some type of baking soda?
Yes, like some type of baking soda. Yes, very much true. Because I used to do that back in the day with old car batteries when they used to get the little fuzz, the little funny green stuff on it. I used to take actually tonic water, put tonic water on it. Used to clean it right away. Yes, definitely so. Oracle has something over there while I look over here. Can you?
Mm-hmm. I was already made nervous because I love MAC lip liner. And then you all started talking about used products being sold. All right, I know, it's crazy. And when you're dealing with anything with pencil form, you got to be careful with talcum and things like that.
Ooh, we're not even going to talk about talcum. Johnson & Johnson. I'm going to say it. Johnson & Johnson. It's out there. Johnson & Johnson. Talcum. Can you read that for everybody, please?
When hair care. Oh, yeah. Remember this guy, Chaz, that took out co-washing technique and made money off of it. His stylist, Chaz Dean, came off as such a nice, free-spirited guy on Bravo that you'd never expect his hair care line would, I don't know, cause thousands of people's hair to fall out in clumps. As of November, 200 people had joined a class action lawsuit that alleged the Wen products led to hair loss, scalp irritation, and balding, which is when a proposed $26.25 million settlement was approved by a California judge, meaning 6 million people could be eligible for settlements of up to $20,000.
So $20,000 just for you to shut up. That's what that meant.
Yeah.
$20,000 for you to shut up. And where he got that money from? The money came from Bravo. The money came from his profits. The money came from his investors. $20,000 versus how much profit they made with how many people got sick off of their product.
They lost their hair.
And the trouble they had to go through to regain their hair. Okay, I think this one's going to really, really upset Oracle, but I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that she doesn't get too upset.
Those trendy little spears of lip balm are totes adorable. But there's nothing cute about cracked, bleeding, and blistering lips that one woman says she suffered for 10 days after buying EOS at Target in 2015. A class action lawsuit filed against the company alleged that the other users have been suffering rashes after using the product for years. I remember about that. I think the butter that they were using in those little balls were not stable because I've seen a mold. I've seen the mold before.
People. You see, this is where it comes back and it bothers me so much. This is where it comes back and it bothers me.
I'm about to make me some lip gloss, y'all.
I don't understand how it's
Stand by.
possible that so many people in this society that we live upon can be so ignorant to believe someone else over someone that they can talk to. So I'm going to walk up to a store and I'm going to buy something off the shelf because a gazillion other people done purchased it and say, okay, it's going to work for me. And then I'm going to be walking around with busted lip, a ball on my lip falling off, my nose falling off.
The advertisement was pretty good.
Come on now.
I don't think nobody knew about it. The advertisement was good. It wasn't...
That's the marketing team.
That's
not
saying.
The company. That's the marketing team. The marketing team got paid gazillions of dollars to make sure
and
that
that's their job.
lard is good for your body.
That's what their job is. It's up to you to do the proper research.
And this is why, again, I go back to that dang on thing and just...
All right, breathe.
I'm frustrated, people.
Breathe.
I'm frustrated. I'm getting frustrated. This one here.
I'm finished. I'm done eating. I had the munchies. All right.
Everybody, family, listen. Family, please understand something. Family, please understand something. Just because they wear a white coat, don't mean they know what they
Yeah, I'll do that. Lip gloss and lipstick. Yep. Tinted lip gloss. Yep, I'll do it.
Please understand
vegan.
something.
I'll get some vegan. Yep, I'll make it vegan.
One of the biggest mistakes that many of us do is believe the person wearing a white coat. This is the reason why in a specific year that was not too long ago, people went around getting a jab because someone stood there in front of them and told them it's going to work.
They've been getting a prick.
Next thing you know,
cold words.
Many people started dying. Many people got sick. There are still people to this day getting sick of something that they did several years ago. So here's the funny thing. I'm going to just mention Dr. Dennis Gross, and I'm going to hand it over to the missus to read the rest of this.
Okay, let's see. What is this case about? Plaintiffs allege that Dr. Dennis Gross, and I remember him.
Dr. Dennis
Gross Skincare owns, manufactures, and distributes products labeled as C collagen.
C plus collagen.
C plus collagen. Ooh, I couldn't even see that. And what is that? Purporting to contain collagen, when in reality, the products do not contain any collagen. Class members lost money in the form of the price premium they paid for products which falsely claim to contain collagen. That is, had they known that the product did not contain collagen, they would not have purchased the product, let alone paid a premium for such valued benefits. Plaintiffs seek injunctive relief, restitutionary, actual, statutory, compensationary, and punitive damages, as well as reasonable attorney fees and costs. Because I believe he's a subscription. I believe you have to subscribe to his skincare.
Okay.
That's why, like, you have to keep, it comes every month or something like that.
But here
like Proactive.
Right. Here's oh my gosh, she said it. She said it. I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna show you something. Hold on. Don't leave just yet. You guys that deal with Proactive. You're not gonna like what I'm gonna show you.
It's positive. Don't we lose collagen as we get older? Yes, we do. And that's why we can get it from our foods. We have to just replenish our foods and try our best to learn our bodies and how to balance it. And then also when you're getting stuff that has collagen, if you're using it as a supplement, research the source. You know, whether it's a plant collagen or bovine, and just make sure it's not the other one, not the oink oink collagen.
Now, here's the funny thing. Here's a doctor who knows better.
Or the sheep collagen too.
They pride on this. I've met people who would actually stand in front of me and say, "Do not refer to me as Mr. I am Dr. So-and-so. Just because you Dr. So-and-so don't mean squat. Because I could be Dr. J for all I care, and then all of a sudden Judith Irvin's going to come after me, and I don't want that to happen." Okay? Don't tell me you're a doctor. You're a doctor in skincare. That's right. I danced for her. I seen this. So I did.
That's what she's talking about. Oh, okay.
I was dancing for her. This is disgusting because here it is again.
Major fast food companies causing other people to fail.
Oh, we're not gonna talk about food.
No, we're
Come
not.
on now.
That's not.
Come on now.
But we get what she's saying.
That be all me all day, all day. I can make you turn your stomach upside down. You won't want to eat a darndest thing. I'll tell you right now. You don't want me to start with the food.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so back to this doctor here. Turns around and tells people he got a C+ collagen in his product, and it's not even nowhere near that. So he told people they were buying a Lexus, but they were getting a Datsun.
What the hell is that?
A Datsun. You don't know what Datsun? Okay, I'm putting my age out there.
I guess that explains.
Datsun was the
like
very first Toyota.
Oh, I was thinking of Yugo.
That Yugo and Datsun was neck and neck in the year, but that's not what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Hold
I
on.
got into an argument over the phone with someone because I called them Mister and he went.
See?
Oh my gosh.
See.
I know. That's crazy.
It's disgusting. Okay.
So what we got here?
I want to read this one out.
Go ahead, read it.
I like to read this one out. Just bear with me here. I'm going to chop this up, but I want you guys to listen to this. Because many people go to this store. This is a big box store, a multi-billion-dollar company. Target had a product called Clean Beauty Products. Taught the absence of ingredients like parabens, polyparabens, and phthalates, right? That's what phthalates, which are alleged to increase the risk of cancer, hormonal imbalances, and harm to reproductive organs. Ladies, come on now.
And that's what I've been trying to tell people too. It's like they went all around the world about relaxers, what it was doing to your hormones. I said, well, your everyday hair lotion is doing the same thing.
Come on,
your
now.
Hair grease, your face moisturizer, your shampoo is doing the same thing that people was complaining about the relaxers. Did that big class action.
Let me continue this here. Here's the funny thing here. It says, but the lawsuit filed in August in the U.S., which is the United States District Court of the District of Minnesota, said some Target Clean products contain ingredients that should be excluded from the line, such as the bronzer that allegedly contains, what's that?
Propylparabens.
This suit also said the marketing is misleading because the product is presented as clean, even though they contain other allegedly harmful ingredients. Come on, people. I'm not able to make this up.
That Target logo is wicked. Saw an article on that. Okay. Yeah, I would like to see that article when you get a chance, now, Maria.
It's a terrible factor. It's a terrible factor. Okay. Here it is, everybody.
We know about this one. We've seen the commercials on this one, right?
Okay, people. Come on now.
Proactive.
Come on now. Let's get it right now. Multiple lawsuits have been filed against the manufacturer Proactive, alleging the company marketed the acne treatment products containing benzoyl peroxide, despite knowing it could break down into benzene, a known carcinogen. Benzene exposure has been linked to an increased risk of development of certain kinds of cancer. Gosh darn it, if you didn't realize that, I don't know what to tell you. But don't tell these small time people that want to go on social media and bang down the entrepreneur. No, they don't believe that. No, because they have a group of scientists. They got a staff that does things. They got a team of scientists. Proactive has a team. That's one of the biggest things you see when they actually come out on TV. You see a bunch of people in lab coats.
But what happens with science?
Don't get me started. I'm started.
I know you swole.
I'm swole. I'm swole behind the chest.
Everybody calm down.
Everybody calm down.
But what happens is with like a lot of these doctors, their mindset is the results outweigh the risk. Even when you go to the doctors, when you're signing away for things like your hormonal medications and things like that, because I'm in the healthcare field. So that's the first thing they ask. Or like when we have to get authorizations for them, does the doctor feel, when they know something causes cancer, that's the first thing they ask you, the insurance company, does the doctor feel that the benefits outweigh the risk?
But here's the thing.
And most of the time, yeah, they do. So they figure because benzoyl peroxide does work drying up the pimples fast. That's what they use on them spot treatments and stuff like that. But if the customer, they should be alerted to what it can cause. There need to be a disclaimer.
Now, it's funny that you said the disclaimer. And I want to piggyback off of that word you just used. We see all the time on advertisements of companies with all these medications and all these things are supposed to be okay.
With the beautiful music.
With beautiful music,
Side effect is
songs, dancing, eating. And the next thing they turn around and tell you, well, the side effect can cause you to jump off the side of the roof. Or it can run in front of a car, go play in traffic. Those are the side effects, but they don't tell you all that. They don't show you that. They show you all this beautiful stuff. So I don't understand this concept. Even when we go to the doctor, okay? I go to the doctor, you're in the medical field. People, family, please ask everybody this question. Why, when you go to the doctor, you don't ask them why you're being tested on? It's a simple question.
I don't know, because I ask questions. So I always tell our people when they come in, when that doctor leave the room, you your own advocate. You have to advocate for yourself.
Because at the end of the day, when the doctor says, well, let's try this. You know what let's try this means? You're a guinea pig.
Yeah, because it's not one size fits all.
Come on now.
Cosmetics, skin care, hair care, anything like that is not one size fits all. And that's why you have to do your research on what works for you and find out what's safe for you. Because what works for one person is not going, even if you have a safe product,
I say it all the
what
time.
works for you is not going to work for someone else.
I say it all the time.
Like, that's why I did that video about hair porosity, because what works for someone with high porosity may not work for someone with low porosity, because the penetration, the way it's formulated, is going to be a little bit different. So somebody may feel like, why my hair always dry and I'm using it? Because you haven't opened up your hair shaft. So it's a thing that you have to learn to do.
I want to piggyback that. I believe Eve has Eve jumped in.
Hey, Eve.
One of the things I learned, okay, folks, again,
consumers pay attention to this claim? Probably not, because they want results.
They want results.
And that's what made me think about this situation with this video with this girl, because who's to say that she wasn't walking around with the stuff on her face for more than 30 seconds? She said she only used it twice. She could have been using it every day. I always say with kojic acid, I even say it with my bars, use moisturize. Make sure you're not overusing it. Only 30 seconds. And I'm gonna be a little I'm gonna be a little more detailed with that stuff now. This is really teaching me too. Like, I can't assume that. I remember even my son told me, you can't assume everybody knows.
Even as we know, nobody knows. It's up to the person to ask the question. You won't know if your mouth is closed. You won't have the right answer given to you if your mouth is closed.
That's true. But if it's a big corporation, the big corporation is not going to be that approachable. So it's the duty of the corporation to put the information there. Now, when they want to reach out after seeing all of that, and then they want to reach out, then they reach out. Like, I do that a lot. I reach out. I'll email a company in a minute.
Look here, you are absolutely. You just
I'll put on my voice.
You saw what I found just this morning. You saw that, and I read it to you.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. Even down to the simplest thing, folks. Listen, family. This is something simple. You can ask anybody. Ask anybody you know that's got a cell phone. Ask them this question. Try this. Did they read the contract before they actually got the cell phone? That's all you gotta ask them.
No, they just want the phone.
That's all you gotta ask them. Did they read the contract?
They click that box and said, "Give me my phone."
Come on now, ask them. I want to. If you just give me one more moment, I want to read the update from 2024. This is an update from Proactive Family.
This is this year.
2024. That's this year. Hello, everybody.
I didn't see this. March 20th, 2024. Are you going to read it?
I like to read it. You want to read it? Or you want me to read it? All right. I'm going to read this one, folks. Matter of fact, I think Oracle has said something there before I read.
August, I don't think so. When I found our kojic acid, which was mainly for whitening, I said I have to be careful using this on my skin because I only want to lighten the only on the darkened areas. Because some people complain that when they're using it everywhere, then as they're getting lighter, the dark spots are getting lighter too, but they're not getting at the same rate as the ones that was already light. So like your other part of your skin is getting light, and then your melanocytes are slowly turning. So it starts to actually look worse before it gets better. And then people are like, oh my gosh, and they blame, that it's the acid. When no, it is just a particular way to use it.
Mhm.
And that's why, like, I'll have the kojic acid on the dark spots there. I never use it under my eyes where it's thin. That's why I make the passion fruit wash, because it's gentle, but it's also effective. It also cleans the dirt real good. And then also, what's the other one that we have? The deep cleansing,
The deep
the
cleansing,
deep cleansing wash, which is the black soap, but the black soap is balanced with the bilberry fruit and some other things in there to make it nice, so that it deep cleans at the same time. It gives that balance.
And with that being said, everybody, family, listen.
And that stuff will get your pimples.
We make sure
Clean
we
them pimples.
ask everybody, reach out to us if you have any questions, concerns, or otherwise, because you won't know. We won't know. We don't know. We're not mind readers. We got to be told these things. We got to be advised of these things. That's the only way we can make these things work for certain people. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure everybody's happy. Okay,
I believe you, Oracle.
Let me read this real quick. This is an update in March 2024. So this is just a month ago.
Okay.
Okay. In response to the new study, dermatologists began recommending that the Proactive and other benzoyl peroxide containing products be stored in the refrigerator or at cooler temperatures. Explain why is that? I got an idea what it is.
Wait, what is that?
They said that this product needs to be refrigerated. And I can honestly tell you, if you live in Texas or you live in Florida, you're lazy and you're leaving it out, and it's cooking and it's creating all kinds of.
Well, sometimes certain actives, they respond a different way to temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Like I notice when I reach out to the manufacturer on certain things, I have to learn how it responds under certain temperatures, how it responds under certain pH levels. Even when you're down to preservatives, you have to pick a preservative for the pH of that product.
Now, we were talking about one of our products that we have made. Didn't you tell me you had to verify two different? I think the word you used was I could be wrong. You said possibly two solubles or two type of ingredients. That if one didn't kick in, the other one would kick in.
Oh, the preservative.
Okay, explain that to me, please.
Because I just figured that some people may move their product from one room to the next, have different temperatures. They may take it to the bathroom. The bathroom may be warm, So I just want to make sure that I can keep the product stable for as long as possible. So you have one preservative that kills mold and yeast and bacteria, but only up until the say, especially with creams, they get into a certain temperature. So you want to make sure. Then you have one that can take it a little further. So I like to have a backup, And I learned that through trial and error and research from when I first started out. Oh my God!
Look here now. This is what big multi-billion-dollar companies pay scientists, pay researchers, give all this money out to all these other kind of people to make sure these things don't happen. And my wife is doing it for all of our customers to make sure the same thing doesn't happen to any of them. But you see how this person
and that's the cause, because that's the stuff that you're tossing out. This is stuff you're testing and you're tossing out or whatever, because you're doing your little research.
Absolutely. You got to do the research. You got to vet the product. But then they have people that's in society that feel the need to take the demise of another person and try to boast that they know what they're talking about. No, it's a bunch of BS to me.
She got me swole.
It's a bunch of BS.
Anyway,
I couldn't do it.
I digress.
All right. Let me move on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, family, listen. All these things, or all these snippets, rather.
And also, too, I want to just take real brief. I'm looking at the high levels of benzene. That's another thing that happens, like with certain preservatives that cause formaldehyde. So that you may not see formaldehyde on your labels when you buy your product. You may see something else. But what happens is, which just made me think by looking at this article, once it reaches a certain temperature, it'll start to release the formaldehyde. They call it formaldehyde releasers. And that's when it becomes a carcinogen. So say if you got a high body heat or something, I don't know, maybe you're putting it on your the lotion or whatever. You just don't know how you're going to activate that product, because you even have it in clothes now where carcinogens are being released when you sweat. So it's just crazy.
Now, you said something funny there. I want to piggyback off of the one word you said, formaldehyde.
Yeah, the embalming fluid.
That's embalming fluid. You're right. Embalming fluid. This is the stuff they stick in the dead body. So
but it's cheap. It's cheap, and it will keep your stuff from spoiling to the apocalypse.
But
that's why they use it. So
okay.
They're not concerned. And then they let a cosmetic chemist tell you that because it's in a small amount and because your body naturally releases formaldehyde, that it's perfectly safe to put in your products at a small amount.
And we revert back to the very beginning of this concept, family. As you continue to put it in your body, it continues to grow, and then it continues to increase the amounts that you're putting in, because you're putting it in every single day.
Or you're depressed. You don't know why your vitamins are not being, or why you can't absorb vitamin D, or why you can't get this, why your estrogen levels are all jacked up, or why your periods are out of balance. And it's the combination of all these things. All right,
family. Before we even my bad. Before we finish, I'm going to read out to everybody all these snippets that I've come across, because I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, well, he's just BSing. They don't know what they're talking about. They just pulled it from anywhere. They got no proof." I'm going to tell you guys, or advise you guys, where the references can be found, starting from the very beginning. My favorite one was Robert King Law Firm, personal injury. Every single thing you want to talk about, if they covered it, it's in their website. Okay. That's the website, Robert King Law Firm. That's where I got one of them. Okay. Stand by. Here's another one, topclassactions.com. This talked about all lawsuits and settlements.
There's so many in there, way more than what we could cover at this.
Much more than what we can cover in one moment. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Don't turn around and say to me that I didn't do my reference checking. Don't turn around and say to me I didn't.
You welcome, Oracle. She said we weren't playing.
Don't come at me that way.
Listen, Oracle, she got me tight. I said, don't come for us. Don't come for us because of one bad apple. And
to play devil's advocate, she's not really the bad apple. No, she is the bad apple because she didn't ask the dang on question. She didn't ask what was going to happen. Does it work for her?
I was talking about the bad apple.
She even walked outside. She's the bad apple.
I was talking about the one who made the soap.
Man, she don't even count as the bad apple. She's just a degenerate. That's what I said. She a degenerate.
She probably put 5%. Listen, you're only supposed to have 2% kojic acid in your formula.
Listen here now.
She probably had 10%.
I ain't gonna say it. But if someone really wants to find out, you don't close. Hold on.
I'm gonna disclose all of that stuff now. I'm about to go to my website. Listen, y'all gonna see some new revamping.
Why
come for me?
Why is the company got to be closed for so long? I'm only asking the question.
Who was closed?
Why is the company closed for so long and then wants to be on social media talking about they reset?
Oh, you talking about the one that did the rant? The girl that did the rant?
Listen, thethings.com. Look it up, folks. This is the things. This was to talk about Halle Berry, or what was it? Halle Bieber. My bad. Halle Bieber and Kim
Kardashian. Oh yeah.
This is the website where I found a lot of other stuff.
That lip plumper stuff.
Okay. So that EOS. This is where EOS came from.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Just in case. The Houston Histonia.
Oh, HistoniaMag.com. HistoniaMag.com.
They talk about, they have a list, I tell you, of companies that were being sued.
Oh, I didn't even know you went into this one. Okay.
I
know you went. I just didn't know that you went down that rabbit hole.
I go down all rabbit holes to make sure someone cannot say anything.
What is this one here?
PRNewswire.com. They talk about news media. It's public information. People, you got to understand, these documents are public. Once the class action suit, it becomes public. That means you can find it in any article that's reputable. And as you see, it says .com. Okay. So just look it up. Okay. Don't be afraid.
I thought about that when I watched it a couple of nights ago, and then she started promoting her own stuff. I thought ulterior motives. Yes, exactly.
It is ulterior motive.
It was an ulterior motive because I watched her put her... You know, I went
Look
to
her
her
up.
page,
You
and
guys are putting it out there.
we was looking for her license and everything. We look.
Man,
we
I
was,
went down the rabbit hole trying to find out where. I listen.
I said, because that's not cool. I said, see, a lot of times it's the competition. They mad that there are a lot of handcrafters that are doing their thing. They
Well,
mad. They mad.
But how you gonna take? How do you take coin out of your own people? How is that even the righteous thing to do?
It's not
you
the righteous
take
thing.
coin out of your own people instead of going after the people who actually are doing the wrong thing because they're the ones that
It's
put it out
easier
there.
because see, the other company will put her on a cease and desist, and they will come for her with their lawyers and their team.
Exactly.
That's why.
And she ain't got a team to prevent that.
And her pseudo team.
Here's the only other websites.
All right, I'm sorry.
No, that's good. That's good. This is the other place that I found the information. And anybody who knows about Bloomberg don't play.
News.Bloomberg Law.
Come on now.
.com. About the clean beauty stuff. Okay.
And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
All right.
So if anybody turns around and says we didn't have the proper places to get the information, wrong. I actually found the right information from the right places. And listen, family, listen. I don't know how many times I got to say it. And if I got to say it every time I come on, I'm going to say it because you know why? It doesn't hurt me to say it. If we don't protect each other, we're all going to get consumed by the people that we're not supposed to be consumed by. That's the first and most important thing you got to understand. So when you have people who feel the need to come at us because they want to make themselves look better, then guess what? You don't belong in our group. You don't belong anywhere near us because that already tells me that you have an ulterior motive. And I don't like people like that. I give credit where credit is due, but this person right now, if I go on social, I'm not a social media type of person, but if I went on social media, trust me, I'm gonna put their business out there because it's public information and they ain't gonna like what I put out there. They're gonna have to send me a cease and desist. And by the time they send me a cease and desist, they're gonna be angry because a gazillion people gonna know about it. I'm telling you now.
He'll do it too.
I'll do it. I ain't afraid of it.
This was definitely an eye opener. So I'm definitely gonna put more information out for everyone to just make sure things, usage and everything else is clear. You know, as a small company, I just have to do what I got to do to protect myself.
I just read Oracle's thing. She is so right.
Yeah, I was reading it. Oh yeah, because you had the screen up. You didn't see the post.
Listen, family.
But I thank y'all. Thank y'all for.
I thank y'all for coming out. And I just want to make one more comment. That we're not really closing this down just yet. I want to make a comment about this one. And she said it real nice there. She said when she started promoting her own stuff. Mm-hmm. How do you stand in front of somebody and say my stuff is better because this one here, not my wife, the person standing next to you has a missing leg, a missing ear, a nostril that's ripped open, and an eye that looks like somebody done stomped on it for 15 times and turn around and say my product works better? What happened to taking care of that person first? What happened to listen, let's talk. Let's figure out a way to actually find something that works for you. Let's find a way to get you better. How about this? How about that? Let's work together. I didn't hear none of that. Not at all. I'm going to throw this out there because it's on social media. It was one of the biggest things. What was that the girl that used the
Gorilla Glue?
The Gorilla Glue on her hair. She used Gorilla Glue on her hair. Ain't nobody come out saying anything about that. They talked about her, but ain't nobody come out there saying, well, my product worked better and this, that, and the third. All I heard was
they just blamed her.
Yeah, they blamed her. They blamed her. But in actuality, she's at fault. Because it's Gorilla Glue. Come on now. Come on. We ain't gotta worry about this, family. We ain't gotta worry about none of this stuff as long as we talk to each other and we understand what's happening. Everything is not there for everybody. We understand that.
And then also when we looked into this other lady, we were trying to see where her products was being produced from, and there was some things that was a little questionable. Because a lot of times they saying that they got this team, but their team is Alibaba, y'all. They be private labeling. From China. And then you look and see they got the same nasty chemicals in it.
But now private labeling doesn't mean
you can't stand behind that because you don't know what they're using. And the day that company goes out, now you don't even know how to make the product because you don't really know how they formulate it or what goes in it. You just sticking your name on the label, buying it in bulk and reselling.
That might be the reason why the company has closed for a while and they're trying to promote their business now again.
Yeah, that could be.
Because they're going to use a different product. Because what they originally bought is no longer allowed.
I've seen it for a lot of well-known companies.
Look here, if I just showed everybody if I just showed everybody, I just showed them that a major corporation, a multi-billion-dollar company was repackaging old product and selling it as new, man, ain't nobody that's worth under $100,000 can turn around something they ain't tried that once or twice. And I want to hear it. That comes back to private labeling. That comes back to private labeling. I've researched it. I've done it. I've researched it. You pay a couple of $100 over to China to get some product that they don't even know nothing about, and you put your name on it. You boast, oh, everybody bought it because, I know this person, I know that person. They bought this, they bought that. You're buying my product left and right. Go on Google, have your friends turn around and talk good about you. But then on Google, you have a span of 2 years with no reviews. Come on, people. Come on. You want to trust something? Look at Google. You got a 2 year span.
That reminds me, y'all. Put your Google reviews in.
How you have a 2 year span talking about your company? Please, how's that even possible? Yeah, people, I'm tired because I'm a Google. What?
He getting swole.
Boy, I go on Google for almost everything. And I will tell a company off on Google. I kid you not.
He's one of them, he write those, what they say? When they say I'm about to have a BF, like from white chicks, I'm about to write a letter.
I write letters to Google.
He's good with corporate, dealing with corporate.
You gotta understand that's
his thing.
Part of my thing. That's my thing. I know how to speak to them. I know how to tell them. I know what they're looking for, and I know exactly what to tell them in order for them to pass it down. And I kid you not, I don't care about the company that's taking my money and not appreciating my services or my introductions to it. Period.
Yeah.
So this is why, folks. This is why, family. People don't understand why I'm so adamant about this because I don't like
did drag
people
her August. She dragged her stuff.
That do that stupidity. That's stupidity to me. That's stupidity to me. It doesn't make any sense to go against your own people. It don't make no sense. Your own if you only have $100,000,
it's an easy target.
Why are you going after your own people?
It's an easy target. It's the crabs in the barrel concept.
I don't understand.
It's the crabs in the barrel. It's easier to because it's more believable. I can say it and people will believe it more. And then that way they'll gear towards me and they'll accept me because I have a title or a pseudo title or whatever have you.
Well, then in that case, I reckon I need to start putting on my doctor's coat then.
Well, I could start putting on my scrubs and my doctor's
coat. I'm gonna put my doctor every time we come on live.
My diploma, my formulation diploma.
Yep, and we're gonna stand there and be like this. According to the DHS, we don't have to worry about any of our products.
And FDA don't monetize. Don't monitor cosmetics.
FDA does not monitor cosmetics.
And then half the stuff they do allow, the rest of the companies don't allow. So the studies that I do is from other countries that deal with true natural care, because a lot of the stuff that they allow here in this country is not good for us.
One of the funny things that we were talking about the other day that we had noticed, and I think we were talking about when I came across one of these articles, that there was a woman that was complaining about conditioner. She had put too much conditioner in her hair and her hair started falling out because the conditioner was not correct for her, which was kind of amazing. We was talking about how certain hair types are not supposed to have large amounts of conditioner in it.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible that these people or society feels the need to continue buying the product?
You stop buying it. If it don't work for you, don't buy it no more. Like if you have straight hair, there are certain things that you're not supposed to put in your hair if that is formulated for curlier texture hair, because you have your oil is still at your roots. So yeah, it's gonna clog. It's gonna cause your hair to fall out. That's probably why that Wind company went out.
I just saw a teeny tiny commercial.
Oh,
my bad.
Yeah.
But that teeny tiny commercial.
Well, she was selling her little hair products.
She was selling her little products.
Her little hair oil when she tried to
grow
her hair back.
Everybody nearby to where she lives at. And I can tell you where. I know where it's at. I know.
Oh, which one? I'm talking about the wrong person.
No. I was just looking on the right there. But now there's one thing I do want to talk about. One thing right before we end this live. One of the things that I learned was something that's called actually no, two things: hair type and follicles. Okay, the hair follicle, that's the shaft you had explained to me, right? The hair shaft. I will always try to figure this one out when my wife taught me about the hair shaft. The easiest thing I could describe it to, and this may be a little crazy or make somebody uncomfortable, but just hear me out now. The hair shaft of a person, male or female, doesn't matter. It opens and closes. Is that correct? Okay. So the hair shaft opens and closes. That means that when that hair shaft opens, whatever's on top of that hair, the hair is going to suck it in. Yes? Okay. People, let's talk about a mosquito. Yes, a mosquito. I'm going to use a mosquito for a reason. When a mosquito punctures the skin, everybody always try to figure out why when it comes off of the bite, you get that irritation. When a mosquito, and that is because the mosquito's tongue now rips the skin coming back out. That's opening the shaft. So right there, unfortunately with me, with the way I learn things, I'm like a Neanderthal. I have to correlate it to something totally the opposite of what we're talking about. But that explains to me, when you taught me that, what the actual hair shaft does. It opens and it closes, and that's what happens. When you taught me about hair types, I'll never forget the time that I actually said to this lady, and the lady was asking me, I see you presenting the product. I see you talking about the product. Well, what can you actually tell me about the product? I said, unfortunately, I'm not able to give you that answer until you tell me what kind of hair type you are. She said, a what?
Yeah, I remember that.
The woman told me, a what? I said, hair type. What's your hair type? She said, I don't know what that is. I said, then I reckon you need to give my wife a call to have a consultation, because if you don't know, I don't know. So how can I help you if you don't even know what I'm going to help you with? Come on now. And this is the problem with a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand.
I didn't know she was on Saturday Night Live.
Who?
The Gorilla Girl?
Yes, she was.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I've seen it. That's why it was funny to me when I seen it.
Oh.
She did an Eddie Murphy Gumby moment.
Oh, okay.
Come on now. Come on. Oh my gosh. Yes.
All right then.
All right. Again, everyone, family, appreciate you guys chiming in with us, learning the same way we learn. Again, we all learn together. Okay, no matter what the topic is, we're going to learn together somehow, some way. We're going to plant the seed in each other, and we're going to try to teach somebody something else. And we're going to show everybody, we're going to show the world what it really is about to come together.
And any questions you have, still feel free to reach out to me if you have issues with an ingredient or questions or allergies or anything, or just, some ideas or some tips. That too. That too.
I'll knock on your door and say, hi.
He sure will.
I don't want no food. You feed me, I'm like a cat. I ain't leaving. We ain't going to go to that. All right. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate you.
Share the info.
I
think this could help a lot of people.
Let other people know. Listen, you know what? If you don't believe it, just
don't fall for the hype.
Just don't fall for the hype, man. Don't fall for the hype. Social media is just like someone in the backyard that's just talking nonsense. That's all we're doing. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay. And I guess we'll see you next time.
I got hair cream to make. I got some orders coming in.
Very welcome.
So I got to finish making that stuff.
Please be advised, we're always going to put out information, okay? We put that information out there because we want our customers to have some trust in us. That's the only way it works. You don't see the big conglomerates sitting on YouTube or doing lives and talking about their product. No, you don't see that. But everybody doesn't understand why we're doing it. We do that because you're putting a name to a face, and we're putting a face to a product. Because we stand by our product, and we want everybody to feel comfortable that what we're doing is going to benefit them and it's going to benefit everybody else. That's right, August. Don't believe the hype.
That's right.
Back in the day, yes. We got to try, people.
Eve, yeah, do that. And then any questions you got or anything like that, you can put in the comments later. I'll take a look at it.
Eve,
when I come out the lab.
Don't worry about it. We're going to be here. We're going to be here. People, family.
Thank you.
I'm not going to call you, I'm not going to say people anymore. I'm going to say family. Because at the end of the day, we're family. No matter where we're at in the United States or across the seas, we're all going to be family because we're all going to wind up in the same place very soon. Hopefully not tomorrow, but we don't know because we don't know what tomorrow brings. But I'm going to say this. I'm gonna keep my eyes open this way I can see it happen.
Gee whiz. All right, y'all. I gotta get to the lab, y'all. I gotta finish these orders. Thanks a bunch.
You good there?
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. And for those that are coming in later on, you're gonna watch the replay. Please listen to the replay. There's information there that you guys may actually want to know about. And if you don't watch it, you cannot say you did not know, because my biggest thing is
that's
this.
true, no, Maria. But we family here though.
We're all family. Listen to me now. One more thing before I turn off here. I don't speak unless I verify things, because I don't want anybody turn around saying I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? So that's the one thing that I'm going to let everybody know. When I speak, I'm speaking with what I found, and I'm going to show you what I found. When you want to come to me and say, Jay, this is what we found, we're going to sit down, we're going to chop it up, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to sit back and say, okay, I was wrong.
Communication, yeah.
It's all about the communication, everybody. All right. Hands up.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all. Everybody,
and keep a lookout for the next game event date.
Oh, yes. Don't forget game night. Vote for the game night. I'm already excited. I'm excited. Okay. I'm excited.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And until next time, everybody.